What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Thursday, September 10th, 2015, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello, that's RAYMELO, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Hillary Clinton has weighed in on Kanye West's designs for the White House. Appearing on Ellen DeGeneres' chat show, the presidential hopeful said that she'd like Mr. West to wait a while. Clinton said, well, I heard him make the announcement, and he says he wants to run in 2020. I will only ask him if I'm running for re-election to wait. But otherwise, a lot of people want to run for president these days. The candidate added, presumably referring to real estate mogul Donald Trump and his own relentless campaign. DeGeneres said, it seems like a lot of people do want to run. I don't understand it myself. West told the crowd at the MTV Video Music Awards on August 30th his intentions to take the nation's highest office while accepting the Video Vanguard Award. He said before his high-powered and the entire Kardashian family, and yes, as you probably could have guessed by this moment, I've decided in 2020 to run for president. Bits from Clinton's Ellen appearance have been rolling out, like an earlier clip in which the former Secretary of State addressed her recent email scandal. Clinton said, I used a personal email account. It was allowed by the State Department. But I should have used 2 different accounts. I made a mistake, and I'm sorry for all the confusion that has ensued. 5 people are suing Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump, claiming his private security team assaulted them on a Manhattan sidewalk as they protested outside Trump's office, according to a filing on Wednesday in New York State Court. The suit names Trump personally, the Trump Organization, and Trump's Secretary Director Keith Schiller. It also addresses 4 unnamed members of Trump's security team. According to the suit, Schiller and the 4 other security guards attacked the group while they were demonstrating against Trump's statements on Mexican immigrants. Guards took their signs and told them to leave. One of the demonstrators, Efrain Galicia, said that in the complaint, Schiller punched him in the head after he tried to wrestle back at a sign Schiller had taken away. Alan Gartner, a lawyer for Trump, said, fortunately, there was video that completely refutes that. Gartner says that the video shows Galicia attacking Schiller. The local TV news station New York One filmed and broadcast the incident, which is described as a scuffle. Trump, who leads his competitors for the Republican presidential nomination for the November 2016 election by double digits, has repeatedly said illegal immigrants are causing problems for the country. He said during the June 16th speech announcing his candidacy, they're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists. He has pledged to build a wall along the U.S.-Mexican border if elected. Video posted by New York One shows a small group of protesters holding a sign intimidating Trump's campaign logo and ripping off his slogan, Make America Great Again, with the phrase, Make American Races Again. Several of the protesters wore white robes and pointed hoods, costumes worn by the white supremacist group, the Ku Klux Klan. Plain says that the protesters dressed up in Klan costumes to highlight the fact that the far-right politician David Duke has publicly praised Trump's candidacy and his position on immigration. Gartner said, anyone who shows up to protest wearing Ku Klux Klan outfits is looking for trouble, and their goal is to intimidate. Lawyers for Galicia and the other plaintiffs said that their clients were demonstrating on a public sidewalk and were within their rights. Benjamin Dichter, a lawyer for the group, says Trump may own the building, but the sidewalk belongs to the people. Roger Bernstein, who has also represented the plaintiffs, says this is a case about accountability for illegal actions. The Trump campaign violated the law. Former Meet the Press host David Gregory talks candidly in his new memoir, How's Your Faith, about his messy ouster from NBC News last summer. On Wednesday, he also appeared on Rival CBS to talk about the episode. Sitting in front of the giant CBS News eye logo, Gregory characterized the process as difficult during an interview with CBS This Morning's Norah O'Donnell, Gayle King, and John Dickerson. The Face the Nation host was sitting in for Charlie Rose. But he noted that in the end of the episode helped him to do some deep soul searching. He said, rather than get into all the nastiness of it, I just tried to internalize what I take away from it, explaining that he realized that if he were nicer to his colleagues and communicated it better, people would have been rooting for me a little bit more, both at NBC and the broader community. I think I was so consumed and self-absorbed that I didn't think enough about communicating with the people. The result, he says, was that people were not unhappy to see me get some comeuppance. I think I have learned something from that. Gregory's book chronicles his self-examination via his spiritual journey to extract meaning and purpose from his Jewish faith. It is published by Simon & Schuster, which is a division of CBS Corporation. Gregory noted that with some understatement that unpleasant things happen in TV news. His ouster, he says on CBS This Morning, his first TV interview since leaving NBC News, was handled in a way that was unnecessary. NBC made a business decision. You can agree or disagree with it. It just didn't need to be handed that way. Gregory, who was given the moderator's chair on Meet the Press in late 2008 after the untimely death of Tim Russert, was the subject of incensed rumors last summer as the once top-rated Meet the Press had tumbled to third place among Sunday morning public affairs shows. NBC President Dara Turner had publicly declared her support for Gregory. The leaks that he was out and Chuck Todd would get his job persisted. And last August, Gregory and his wife Beth were driving to New Hampshire to pick up his sons from camp when he got the call from NBC News confirming that he was out of a job and he had already hosted his final show. He explains in the book that NBC executives were trying to avoid another Ann Curry moment, invoking the former Today Show host infamous tearful live goodbye on the morning show in 2012. Gregory added, "As much as I miss the work, I don't miss NBC, I don't miss being there. It was just the wrong atmosphere for me." Model, actress, and 80s music icon Grace Jones is calling out some of today's chart-topping pop stars for biting her style. Rihanna, Miley Cyrus, Kanye West, Beyonce, and Lady Gaga are all targets of the A View to Kill James Bond baddie in her upcoming autobiography, I'll Never Write My Memoirs. She says, trends come along and people say, follow the trend. There's a lot of that around at the moment. Be like Sasha Fierce, referring to Beyonce. Be like Miley Cyrus. Be like Rihanna. Be like Lady Gaga. Be like Rita Ora and Sia. Be like Madonna, Grace wrote in an excerpt that was published by Time Out on Wednesday. She also added, I cannot be like them except to the extent that they have already been like me. I have been so copied by those people who have made fortunes that people assume that I am that rich. But I did things for the excitement, the dare, the fact that it was new, not for the money, and too many times I was the first, not the beneficiary. Jones, who has had a string of hit singles, including Anita Man, Private Life, and Slave to the Rhythm, claims that every modern-day pop star is trying to rip her off in some way. She gave an example, for example, Rihanna. She does the body painting thing I did with Keith Haring, but when he painted directly on my body, she wears a painted bodysuit. That's the difference. Mine is on skin. She puts a barrier between the paint and her skin. I don't even know if she knows that what she's doing comes from me, but I bet you the people styling her know. They know the history. Jones also referred to another pop star as Doris, who she says looks lost, like she's desperately trying to find the person she was when she started. As the rest of the millennial generation, Jones is not impressed. She says they dress up as though they are challenging the status quo, but by now, wearing those clothes, putting those faces, revealing those tattoos and breasts, singing to those fractured, spastic, melting beats, that is the status quo, she wrote. You are not off the beaten track, pushing through the thorny undergrowth, finding treasures no one has come across before. You are in the middle of the road. I Never Write My Memoirs hit shelves on September 29th. Former NSYNC member Lance Bass is willing to give Caitlyn Jenner the benefit of the doubt after Jenner admitted she did not in the past support gay marriage. Bass said Wednesday on the Meredith Vieira show, referring to Jenner's recent appearance in the Ellen DeGeneres show, I have to give her some room too, because, I mean, even when I came out, I still caught myself saying, oh, she's so hot, like doing that thing that you train yourself to do for so many years. So I think we should give her a little room to grow. Bass was a little shocked when he heard Jenner's initial stance, however. What do I get is she's sitting there in Gavicini, full makeup, saying, I'm a traditionalist. I'm like, what, he said. Jenner spoke with DeGeneres Tuesday, saying, I have to admit that I remember 15 years ago, 20 years ago, whenever it was that the whole gay issue, marriage issue came up at first, I was not for it. I mean, I thought I was a traditionalist. But as time goes on, like a lot of people on this issue, I've really changed thinking here too. I don't ever want to stand in front of anybody's happiness. If that word marriage is really, really that important to you, I can go with it, she said. Giant screen specialist IMAX is joining the content creation party and will be generating its own movies and other programming in the near future. The company's Entertainment Chief Executive Officer Greg Foster said Wednesday. Talks with potential partners and TV producers and filmmakers are underway, and IMAX will be taking its next steps in the coming months, Foster said Wednesday at the 2015 Media, Communications, and Entertainment Conference, sponsored by Bank of America Merrill Lynch in Los Angeles. IMAX has had a terrific year so far, and its stock and revenues have surged thanks to its strong domestic and global box office, led by gigantic screen-friendly hits like Avengers: Age of Ultron, Jurassic World, and Mad Max: Fury Road. But the company has troubles in times of years when blockbusters are scarce, Foster said. He said, there was no blockbuster movies released in August, there were none last week, and none this coming weekend. That's 3 of 4 weeks of beachfront property, and would net up to by 83% for a year ago to $24.35 million. IMAX is positioned to aggressively seek alternatives. He said, we want to provide the best premium entertainment 52 weeks a year, and if creating it ourselves is the best way to do it, we're going to be excited about taking that giant step, he said. With the digital explosion creating countless new streaming platforms, there's been a rush to fill the content void by media firms and companies better known in other sectors like online retailers Amazon.com and Marriott Hotel. IMAX is also considering 3 primary content strategies or some combinations of them, Foster said. The simplest would be creating its own programs or movies from the development process to filming and distribution, he said. Partnerships are also another alternative. IMAX has worked hand in hand with several directors, including director Christopher Nolan on his space epic Interstellar. Foster said, we have so many talks with filmmakers that have projects that they haven't been able to get made for one reason or another. We don't just take a hard drive, pop it into the projection and press play. We actually work with the filmmakers throughout the process, and that makes a difference. Andrea Bocelli and producer David Foster will headline the entertainment at the 67th Emmy Award Governor's Ball, the Television Academy announced Wednesday. The world-famous classical solo artist and multiple Grammy Award and Emmy Award-winning producer-songwriter will perform a special set for the 4,000 guests at the Los Angeles Convention Center in downtown LA following the 2015 Emmys on Sunday, September 20th. The evening will also include performances by JB Project, the WCM String, and the Stereo Set. This year's theme for the Governor's Ball will be Reigning with Radiance, featuring signature courses by Patina Catering and wines by Penfolds. Bocelli is one of the most successful classical solo artists ever and one of the biggest selling artists in music history, with more than 80 million albums sold worldwide. On October 23rd, he will release his 5th studio album in 2 years, titled Cinema, which is produced by Foster and released globally on Sugar Music, Universal Music Group, and Verve Music Group. Foster has become known as one of the most successful record producers in history, creating albums that have sold collectively in the hundreds of millions. He created hit songs and award-winning gold and platinum albums for a diverse array of artists, including Earth, Wind & Fire, Natalie Cole, Michael Bolton, Seal, Chaka Khan, Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton, NSYNC, and Bob Saxe. The 67th Annual Emmy Awards will be hosted by Andy Samberg and broadcast live on Fox on September 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. And passing to report, Merv Adelson, legendary television executive and founder of Lorimar, died on Wednesday, according to media reports. He was 85. The entertainment executive's 60-year career spanned everything from real estate development to co-founding TV production company Lorimar Television with developer Erwin Molaski and producer Lee Rich. He was chairman CEO of the company, which produced series in the 70s and 80s, including The Waltons, Dallas, Knots Landing, and Full House. Lorimar was acquired by Warner's Communication in 1989, after which Adelson served on the board of Time Warner and was also its vice chairman before leaving the company in 1991. Adelson lost much of his fortune when the internet bubble burst and AOL Time Warner stock prices began to fall. By the time Vanity Fair profiled the executive in 2013, he was living in a 500-square-foot apartment in Santa Monica. He later signed as an executive advisor and consultant for Warner Brothers Entertainment. Adelson was married to journalist Barbara Walters twice, for 3 years beginning in 1981 and another 6 beginning in 1986. The couple divorced for the last time in 1992. The season 9 premiere of The Big Bang Theory from Chuck Lorre, Bill Pratty, and Steve Molaro will pick up in Las Vegas and featured Leonard, played by Johnny Galecki, and Penny, played by Kaylee Cuoco Sweeting, nuptials. But that doesn't mean everything will be smooth sailing after Penny learns that Leonard kissed another woman during his North Sea expedition 2 years ago. Molaro told The Hollywood Reporter, "Chuck and I have long talked about revealing the wedding before the premiere, and my fear was that it was going to start sound like they didn't get married. That was not a positive message, and we didn't want fans to feel like, oh, they're just going to pull the rug again and not do it. There's so much more story beyond that moment that we decided just to let people know." The Hollywood Reporter had the exclusive first looks photos from Leonard and Penny's wedding, as well as what could be the most awkward wedding night ever, all included in the Season 9 premiere. Molaro says that Season 9 and Leonard has been pursuing her since minute 3 of the series, saying of why the time it was right for the on-again, off-again couple to finally say, I do. Even Penny, with all her commitment issues, is in the mindset of, are we moving forward with this or not? What are we doing? And they do. Below, however, Molaro breaks down what happens next for the newlyweds and how Leonard's North Sea friend, Mandy, played by Melissa Tang, impacts the early days of the couple's union. Actor Hank Azaria has joined the cast of Wizard of Lies, HBO's upcoming film about the Ponzi schemer Bernie Madoff. Azaria is set to play Frank DeSpiscali, Madoff's right-hand man. Working from the 17th floor at Madoff Investment Securities, LLC, the base of Madoff's fraud operations, DeSpiscali, referring to himself as the Director of Options Trading and Chief Financial Officer. The actor joins Robert De Niro, who will star as Madoff, Michelle Pfeiffer as Madoff's wife Ruth, and Alessandro Nivola as Mark Madoff, their son. Wizard of Lies is being directed by Barry Levinson and written by John Burnham Schwartz and Sam Baum. It is based on the book Wizard of Lies by Diana Hendricks, in addition to source material from The Truth and Consequences by Laurie Sandel. Levinson and De Niro are serving as executive producers with Jane Rosenthal and Barry Welsh. Justin Timberlake and Jimmy Fallon's collaboration for the history of rap have become legendary, and for their sixth installment, the pair channeled hip-hop icons NWA for a Straight Outta Compton tribute. However, the Tonight Show host got so deep into the character that he had to be pulled back and calmed down by Timberlake as he stormed the cameraman. He told Fallon, "Jimmy, we've been through this before. You are not straight out of Compton. You are straight out of upstate New York." Fallon mumbled in reply, "I just thought with the movie being so big and everybody talking about it, before they decide to talk about something else, namely Salt and Pepper's hit, Let's Talk About Sex." Also featured in Timberlake and Fallon's Melody were R. Kelly and Jay-Z's Fiesta, LL Cool J's Rock the Bells, MC Hammer's You Can't Touch This, Kendrick Lamar, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, and Drake, Know Yourself. Earlier Wednesday, the Friends took in some tennis action at the U.S. Open and were spotted dancing to Beyonce's Single Ladies during a break in play while watching from the Emirates Airlines suite in Flushing Meadows in New York. Also last night on The Tonight Show, Ellen DeGeneres, is too often that we get to see Ellen DeGeneres on someone else's talk show, but that's exactly what happened when she stopped by The Tonight Show in L.A. last night on Wednesday. Ellen, who recently kicked off season 13 of her hit daytime talk show with guests like Hillary Clinton and Caitlyn Jenner, indulged host Jimmy Fallon in a lip-sync battle of epic proportions. We all know how good Ellen is at dancing, and she didn't hold back as she put her best moves on display while performing Diana Ross's Do You Know Where You're Going To and Bitch Better Have My Money by Rihanna for what it's worth. Jimmy's rendition of Watch Me, Whip Nene by Silento was pretty good. And if that wasn't all cool enough, the whole thing was judged by Justin Timberlake. Bon Jovi will not be taken to any Chinese stage in the near future for reasons that remain murky. A statement from the AEG Live Asia puts to rest in hopes of a steering horse riding into Shanghai and Beijing in the coming weeks. The promoter statement says, "We regretfully announce that Bon Jovi's 2015 Shanghai concert on September 14th and Beijing concert on September 17th have been canceled due to unforeseen reasons. We would like to apologize for the inconvenience and disappointment that this will cause. The dates have been already moved from the band's website and no announcement was made as to whether the band will reroute the two dates to a neighboring country. AEG says ticket holders will be issued refunds. The Washington Post cites a source as saying that the cancellations may be caused by a 2009 music video featuring footage of protests across the world, including the Tiananmen Square protesters in the fall of the Berlin Wall, as well as images of the Dalai Lama projected behind John Bon Jovi during a concert in 2011 were cited as a possible cause for the Chinese government's consternation. The question of why the government would allow Bon Jovi's concert to be scheduled despite offending content circulated for years prior remains unanswered. Management for Bon Jovi refused to comment on the still developing situation. News of the cancellation was first reported by the Financial Times early Tuesday morning. In July, Maroon 5's tour of the country, originally scheduled for this month, was canceled under circumstances resembling that of Bon Jovi. Band member Jesse Carmichael tweeted, "Happy birthday, America," and the Dalai Lama too, saying happy birthday to His Holiness today. Linkin Park, Bjork, and Oasis have been restricted from performing in the country over the public support lent to the Dalai Lama. Another music act isn't thrilled about Donald Trump's song selection for his campaign. The presidential candidate took the stage at a rally to oppose the Iran deal on Wednesday as REM's song, "It's the End of the World as We Know It and I Feel Fine," played over the sound system. The members of the band have since taken to social media to criticize Trump's use of their music. In response to multiple Twitter users asking bassist Mike Mills for his thoughts on Trump playing the song, Mills responded with "cease and desist." Mills then tweeted the link to an official statement from the band, which points out that REM's members do not authorize or condone the use of our music at this political event and do ask that these candidates cease and desist from doing so. The statement continued, "The media and American voters should focus on the bigger picture and not allow grandstanding politicians to distract us from the pressing issues of the day and of the current presidential campaign." Mills also posted a viralistic statement to his Twitter page, a tribute to lead singer Michael Stipe, who responded to Trump's use of the tune with "Go fuck yourself, the lot of you, you sad, attention-grabbing, power-hungry little men. Do not use our music or my music for your moronic charade of a campaign." This follows Neil Young speaking out in June against Trump's use of his song, "Rockin' in the Free World," at his speech to announce his campaign, saying the real estate mogul was not authorized to use the song. Trump isn't the only political figure to get pushed back over music played at rallies. On Tuesday, the rock group Survivor said it didn't give permission for their song "Eye of the Tiger" to be used at an event attended by embattled Kentucky clerk Kim Davis and presidential candidate Mike Huckabee. And now let's look at the top 10 songs on the Billboard Hot 100 singles charts for the week of September 19th. Number 10, "Where Are You Now" by Skillrex and Diplo featuring Justin Bieber. Number 9, "Locked Away" by R City featuring Adam Levine. Number 8, 679, Fetty Wap featuring Remy Boyz. Number 7, "Good For You" by Selena Gomez featuring A$AP Rocky. Number 6, "Lean On" by Major Lazer and DJ Snake featuring M0. Number 5, "Cheerleader" by Omi. Number 4, "Watch Me" by Silento. Number 3, "The Hills" by The Weeknd. Number 2, "Can't Feel My Face" by The Weeknd. And the number 1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 charts for the week of September 19th is "What Do You Mean" by Justin Bieber. And now let's look back at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1991, Nirvana released "Smell Like Teen Spirit" as a single. You either had to be part of a fairly small subculture of music fans or professional on the business side of the music industry to have heard Nirvana before the autumn of 1991. To the few who followed their particular brand of alternative music before alternative went mainstream, Nirvana had announced themselves as a band to watch with their independently produced 1989 album Bleach. And to the music business pros who knew that Bleach sold 30,000 copies after being produced for only $600, Nirvana was seen as a prime candidate for a breakout, with their second album being released by the major label Geffen Records. But absolutely no one, not Nirvana's biggest fans, not their biggest industry supporters, and certainly not the band members themselves, suspected the magnitude of what was about to happen. In just a few short months, a group that was completely non-entity to the mainstream music-buying public would become the most important rock band on earth. The transformation began on this date in 1981 with the release of Nirvana's landmark single, "Smell Like Teen Spirit." The songs Nirvana's label and management hoped would be a hit off the band's forthcoming album Nevermind was "Come As You Are," which set for release later in the fall. Smell Like Teen Spirit was released quietly and without significant promotion in the hopes that it would begin building awareness of the new album among listeners to college and alternative radios. Nirvana's manager, Danny Goldberg, none of us heard it was a crossover song, but the public heard it and it was instantaneous. They heard it on alternative radio, and then they rushed out like lemmings to buy it. Kurt Cobain, Nirvana's guitarist and lead singer and primary songwriter, had to be talked into even including Smells Like Teen Spirit on Nevermind, but his bandmates, bassist Chris Novoselic and drummer Dave Grohl. He was self-conscious about a song he'd written as a conscious ripoff of the Pixies' hard and loud, then soft and quiet style. But most of the millions who would soon become Nirvana fans had probably never heard of the Pixies or the other punk, hardcore, and alternative bands that inspired and influenced Kurt Cobain. He was the product of an underground scene far outside the pop music mainstream, but his gift for channeling the noise and anger of that scene into the brilliant, accessible song like Smells Like Teen Spirit ended up redefining the mainstream itself. And that is your entertainment report for Thursday, September 10th, 2015. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello. I'll be back tomorrow to wrap up the week, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. Please follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello. That's RAYMELO. Or on Twitter @The Enter Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.